Welcome back to Nonsense. I'm Chris, and this is the second in a new series of recontextualized and ridiculously detailed superfan breakdowns of Rick and Morty, looking back with all the additional lore and knowledge we have about the world of the show, as well as breaking down all the missable animation details and jokes. Continuing here with Season 1, Episode 2, Lawnmower Dog. And the first detail is actually in the title, which is a reference to The Lawnmower Man, a 1992 film where a simple guy gains superintelligence and turns on his creators exactly like Snowball does. Snowball's name is also a reference to Orwell's Animal Farm, where Snowball is the leader of the movement. We also learned from Justin Roiland during the creator commentary that
Snuffles is designed after my little guy, Jerry, complete with blue collar. I did the voice of the dog there.
We open on Snowball approaching Jerry as he watches golf, and Jerry offers to let him out, but he doesn't move until Jerry sits back down when he pisses on the floor. So Jerry's mad, but Morty defends him until Jerry rubs his face in the piss, which Snowball calls back later in the episode.
Jerry, come to rub my face in urine again.
Rick drags Morty away for an adventure, but Jerry demands he first make Snowball intelligent. So Rick gives Snowball a brain-boosting helmet before heading to the garage with Morty and introducing his Inception tech. Weird detail is that the case he puts the device in has several different shapes of foam inserts, which just makes me wonder what the others were for. But then later in the episode they're actually uniform, so it may have just been an animation mistake. And this is actually the earliest sign we get that Rick is obsessed with mind tech.
I can't go on like this with the truth tortoise shit in my head. I wish you could just erase the memory from your mind. What the hell is this? This, Morty, is my archive of all the experiences you've begged me to remove from your life, lest you go insane.
Just a memory, Jerry. Boom. Total reset. Good as new.
What got reset?
Pretty amazing that you can just suck out an intrusive memory like that.
Don't let him reset us!
Pretty impressive reset job.
And obviously he just lost Diane and all his memories with her at this point, so he's still desperate to find some shred of Diane somewhere in his consciousness. It makes me think he actually just lived out the plot of Inception before this with the tech, where he tried to chase a life down with Diane in his dream memory version of her. Maybe this is even the origin of that weird memory he has of her in Season 8. Anyways, he says they're going to Incept his teacher and give him A's, and we get a look at his bumper stickers when he walks to the car. A lot of people online insist that this is the Schleem from the Interdimensional Cable episode, but the aliens were not the Schleem, it was these little particles, so we actually don't know any Schleems that I'm aware of, and the political-looking Glordo 86B sticker I have no ideas on. But they take off to Mr. Goldenfold's house, which does paint a picture of his life in the details. On the outside, his fence needs work, multiple papers on the ground, patch of grass, and torn up curtains. Inside, there's just trash everywhere. The show Mrs. Pancakes originally had a different name, according to Dan Harmon in the creator commentary.
I feel like I remember a version where the show was called You Don't Know Me.
Oh, it was called You Don't Know Me, yeah.
He falls asleep watching Mrs. Pancakes, who he has a poster of above his couch. So they sneak in and Rick puts the device on Goldenfold and gives Morty no warning and just lets him pass out onto the ground before getting comfy and giving a nice satisfied smile before putting his in. They wake up on a plane, which is where the incepting happens in the movie, and interrupt Goldenfold's dream about a flight attendant, Mrs. Pancakes, with a bomb threat, but he just whips out guns and fires. Back with the family, they're recording Snowball doing simple tasks, and Jerry's thrilled, but Beth foreshadows two things by saying,
Oh yeah, this should play out just fine.
You said the same thing, equally sarcastically, at our wedding, and guess what?
Snuffles tries to communicate. It's not established what he's saying, but based on the 5 syllables established by Jerry and Summer's guesses.
He's saying I love lasagna.
He's saying I love Obama. So cute.
And based on how angry he gets the very next time she calls him Snuffles. The only guess that I think makes sense is, my name is Snowball. Since they've been calling him Snuffles, and they do establish later on he wants to go by Snowball. And Snuffles gets the idea to add more batteries to his helmet. Meanwhile, Rick takes Mrs. Pancakes hostage, which makes Goldenfold and all the Dream People go crazy, and this Rainbow Suspenders guy was originally supposed to be a crossover character with Gravity Falls, a universe that the show is factually connected to, but Gravity Falls never wound up putting in their version of the character. He kicks the emergency door out, though, and everyone flies out. Goldenfold dreams up a machine to catch them in midair, but the background is made up of either boobs or butts, champagne bottles and a champagne river, and hearts for clouds. Very romantic. But to escape, they follow more of the movie logic by diving even deeper into her dreams to slow down time. So they wake up in a BDSM dungeon, which honestly it makes perfect sense that Goldenfold's dream version of Mrs. Pancakes would be horny as hell. There's a bunch of people in masks and some fairies and dwarvish characters. There's also this lady licking the tip of a unicorn mask's horn. All while Mrs. Pancakes whips an old slave man on her throne. Morty heads over to Incept her, but Rick stops him with a flimsy excuse so he can partake in the orgy. Morty runs into a dream summer, and she tries to entice him with her chest, making him sick and setting up this moment later on.
Oh, thank God, Morty.
Oh, you're welcome.
He draws too much attention by interrupting the orgy, though, and a centaur comes to kill them. But Rick just knocks him out, and they dive into his dream, too, waking up in
Some sort of legally safe knockoff of an 80s horror
movie. With Scary Terry being an obvious Freddy Krueger reference, with the chase even happening in a boiler room with lighting just like in the movie. Back with the family, Snowball has built himself a robot arm and speaker system to talk, which terrifies Jerry, who tries to take the helmet off, but Summer stops him. So he watches a documentary about dog domestication and starts to get angry. Meanwhile, Scary Terry is still chasing Rick and Morty, so they knock out the little girl from The Shining and go into her dreams, only to find out they've hit
dream bedrock.
We also learn in the creator commentary
Line producer Mike Mandel's daughter is the little girl.
So they keep running from Scary Terry while Snowball has built himself a robot suit and more brain helmets and robot suits for other dogs and is creepily standing over Summer's bed as she sleeps. Our first look into her room, and it's pretty generic, random posters and purses everywhere. But the two interesting things are that she's into horses, just like her mom, and I'm not exactly sure what the lore with this thing is, but for some reason the two young Beths in season 8 have this in their treehouse that they build. In my breakdown of that episode, I thought it was one of the many stuffed animals that they had decapitated, so it's interesting now to see that this is actually from Summer's room and makes me wonder if it's maybe a hand-me-down from Beth. We cut back to Rick and Morty, who somehow have escaped the boiler room without explanation and are now running down Scary Street, but they still can't escape Scary Terry. So they decide to try hiding, which is shockingly effective. Meanwhile, Snowball's army is only increasing, and he's caged the family. Scary Terry heads home for the night to the only nice-looking home on the block, and after dinner with the family, he falls asleep in a bed covered in claw marks, which is hilarious. They go into his dreams where he's in Scary High School having the classic no pants dream. In the classroom, the chalkboard cryptically has a Venn diagram about dreams and reality, and indicates that fear and anxiety are involved with dreams, which, yeah, I mean, that's realistic. There's also a poster to let people know not to kill cats, just people, which is funny. The teacher bullies Scary Terry though, so Rick and Morty step in and defend him and give him pants. So he wakes up feeling super de-stressed and calm and agrees to help them out, transporting them back out of the various dreams and accepting the idea to give Morty A's for them before Goldenfold wakes up, immediately saying he's going to give Morty A's. They fly over the house and see the dogs have taken over, so they sneak into the backyard and free the family. But they get caught and Snowball takes Morty as a pet. Later that night, Rick goes into Snowball's dreams with Morty and accepts the idea to go to a dimension just for dogs, because to enslave the human race would be just as bad as what they did to dogs. But during the dream sequence of the dogs taking over the world, we see some funny details like a testicle pickup area, a human racetrack where they chase a hamburger, and a dogs playing poker scene where they recreate the famous dogs playing poker painting, but with humans. But after a year of Morty not knowing he was in a dream and constantly having threesomes with what to him were real women, where he also eats out of a human dog food bowl full of cheeseburgers and his bed is shaped like a dog bed, Rick barges in and tells him it's Snowball's dream and that he's accepting the idea to leave this dimension by nearly killing Morty, which actually hurts him. Snowball wakes up from the dream and decides to leave the dimension with his army to a dimension made of just sentient dogs, taking all the dogs from the local animal shelter with them. Justin Roiland also says in the commentary,
All these little dogs were going to get killed, and now they're getting shuffled off to some other dimension that we will see sometime in season 9.
and I know he was just riffing, but who knows, maybe we'll see them come back next season like he said. He kisses Morty goodbye, and after the credits roll, we see Rick went back to Scary Terry's dream to smoke with him, which to me always recalls this moment.
Rick, Supernova's getting away. Who cares? But she was trying to kill us. Morty, 20 people try to kill me every week. I end up getting high with half of them.
And that's all for the Superfan Breakdown. Episode 3 will be out on Friday at noon, so make sure to subscribe and share any theories or details you notice in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.